Hello students, welcome to part 3 of linear equations in one variable. I hope you're regularly doing your homework. Also, I would like to tell you to please mention the questions in the doubt sheets of your respective classes. Let us begin with our class today. So we were doing applications of linear equations. We have already done algebra related word problems, mensuration related, age related, and denominations. Today we'll be focusing on two-digit number word problems and certain miscellaneous word problems. Here we go. Two-digit number word problems. You need to consider the following examples of two-digit numbers, right? 12, 36, and 27. So basically 12, if I split 12 as 10 plus 2, it can be written as 1 into 10 plus 2 into 1, where 1 is the tens digit and 2 is the units digit, correct? So basically tens digit will be multiplied with 10 and ones digit will be multiplied with 1. That's how you generally write a two-digit number. So 36 similarly can be written as 3 into 10 plus 6 into 1. And for 27, it will be written as 2 into 10 plus 7 into 1. So basically 10 will be multiplied with tens digit and 1 will be multiplied with the units digit. Okay. Now, if you try to generalize a two-digit number, it can be written as 10 into t plus u, where t is basically the tens digit and u is the units digit. Okay. Now we would like to know what happens when we reverse the digits or we interchange the digits. So basically t and u will interchange their places and the interchanged number, or you can say the reverse number, will be 10u plus t instead of 10t plus u. Now we'll be discussing one example based on this. The units digit of a two-digit number exceeds, that means it is greater than the tens digit by 2. Now you need to find the number if it is 4 times the sum of its digits. Okay. Before we form the equation, we need to assign the variables, right? We need to find what the variables are. So in the question itself, it's clear that units digit is given in terms of tens digit. So tens digit, the basic one has to be let as a variable. So we'll let it as x. Units digit is 2 more than the tens digit, right? So it is x plus 2. Now, if you remember the two-digit number from the previous slide, it was 10t plus u. So 10 into t being the tens digit, which is x, plus u being the units digit, which is x plus 2. And we also need to find the sum of its digits because in the question itself, they're referring to sum of its digits. So it will be x plus 2, correct? Now we'll be forming the equation. So as given in the question, the relation is, the number is 4 times the sum of the digits. The number 10x plus x plus 2 is equals to 4 times the sum, which is x plus 2. Can you see? So we are with the equation now and we'll be solving this equation to find the value of x. So basically you will open up the bracket. This will become x plus x, which becomes 2x plus 2, right? So 4 will be multiplied with 2x plus 2. Now if you open up this bracket using distributivity, this will be 8x plus 8 because 4 will be multiplied with both 2x and 2. If you further solve it, you'll find the value of x as 2. Now, the aim was not to find the value of x. The aim was to find the two-digit number, right? So, the two-digit number has 2 as the tens place, right? And if you remember from the question, units digit was 2 more than the tens digit. So, 2 more than 2, which is 4. So, the number is 24. Now, we'll be dealing with question number 3 of exercise 2.4. So it says that sum of digits of a two-digit number is 9. And we are interchanging the digits here And what we find is that the new number is greater than the original number by 27. All right. We need to find the two-digit number. So, since one of the digits can be let as x, what happens to the other digit? They have given the sum as 9, right? Out of which one has already been taken as x. So, the remaining one will be 9 minus x. Now, let us have the solution. The units place is x and the tens place, as told, will be 9 minus x. What happens to the original number? In case of original number, it will be 10t plus u, right? 10 into the tens digit, which is 9 minus x, plus u, which is x. What will be the interchanged number? The interchanged number will be 10u plus t. So 10 times u, which is the units digit, x, plus t, which is the tens digit, 9 minus x. Now, according to the condition given in the question, the new number, the interchanged number, is how much more than the original number? 27. So it's basically original number plus 27. So we'll change this word equation into the algebraic equation. So we'll have 10x plus 9 minus x is equals to x plus 10, 9 minus x times plus 27. So we'll solve this equation to find the value of x by simple transposition method, and the value of x comes out as 6. The units digit is 6 and tens digit, as you remember, which was 9 minus x. X is 6. So it will be 9 minus 6, which is equals to 3. So the number will obviously be 36. Okay. Now we'll be solving question number 4 of exercise 2.4. In this question, they have given that one of the two digits of a two-digit number is 3 times the other digit. And here also we are interchanging the digits. And then we are basically adding the original number and the interchanged number, and the sum will be obtained as 88. Now, since you know that one of the digits can be taken as x, so we'll take units digit as x. And since the other digit is how many times? 3 times, right? So the tens digit is 3x. The number, if you remember, was 10t plus u. So 10 times the tens digit, which is 3x, plus u, which is the units digit, right? So if you simplify this, it will be x plus 30x, which is equals to 31x. Similarly, you can find the interchanged number. Interchanged number, which is 10u plus t. So it will be 10 u, which is x, the units digit, plus t, tens digit, which is 3x. So it will become 13x. So according to the condition given in the question, the sum of interchanged number and original number is 88. If you try to solve this equation, you'll get the value of x as 2 and the number will be 62. Now we'll be dealing with complex linear equations. What we'll do is we'll try to ease out the complexity to make them simple equations so that we can solve them with transposition method. There are various ways to solve this particular equation. Either you can collect the variables on one side and constants on the other side, or you can separately take the LCM in LHS and an RHS and then cross multiply. What we are doing here is we'll be taking the LCM of all the four numbers which are given in the denominator. 2, 5, 3 and 4. So the LCM comes out to be 60, right? What we'll do is we'll multiply this LCM with each term. So x by 2 into 60. Similarly, minus 1 by 5 into 60 is equals to x by 3 into 60 plus 1 by 4 into 60. What this does is that all the denominators will get cancelled, right? So if they get cancelled, what you'll get is a simple equation which you can easily solve by transposition method. So you can have another method to solve this. You can take the LCM or you can collect the variables on one side and the constants on the other side, right? And the value of x will be obtained as 27 upon 10. Here's another question, question number 4 of the same exercise. It is x minus 5 upon 3 is equals to x minus 3 upon 5. Here also, there are various methods. Either you can cross multiply or what you can do, you can follow a similar method that you have done in the previous question. You can take the LCM of 3 and 5, which is 15, and then you multiply with these terms. So what you'll get x minus 5 into 5, right? Because 3 and 15 will get cancelled. And similarly, 5 and 15 will also get cancelled. So basically, you can do simple cross multiplication also. But just to emphasize the previous method, I'm doing this. So if you open up the bracket using distributive property, it will become 5x minus 25, which is equals to 3x minus 9. So we have simply solved them, and then what you'll do is you'll collect the variables on one side and the constants on the other side, and then you can simply find the value of x as 8. Now, in this question also, what you can do is you can either take the LCM and LHS and RHS separately, and then after cross multiplying, you can solve, or you can easily form this as a simple linear equation. How? What is the LCM of 2 and 3? It's 6, right? So you'll multiply 6 with each term. M will be multiplied with 6. Similarly, m minus 1 upon 2 will also be multiplied with 6. Similarly here, 1 will be multiplied with 6, and similarly this term. Okay. Now, what you'll get is, if you open up the bracket, firstly you will write this as 6m minus m minus 1 into 3, because 2 and 6 will get cancelled, right? Similarly in the RHS. Then you'll open the bracket, you'll collect the variables on one side and the constants on the other side. And then you can easily find the value of m as 7 upon 5. In this question, you have 0.25 into 4f minus 3 is equals to 0.05 into 10f minus 9. The only complex thing in this question is dealing with decimals, okay? And most of you, please agree that you make a lot of mistakes while solving the decimal part. So you have to deal with decimals very carefully. If you multiply 0.25 into 4f, you'll get 1f. Similarly, if you multiply 0.25 into minus 3, you'll get minus 0.75. Here in the RHS, 0.05 into 10f will become 0.5f minus 0.05 into 9 will become minus 0.45. Why minus? Because there's a minus sign in front of 9. Now, you transpose the variables on one side and the constants on the other side. If you solve this, and the last step, 0.5, which is being multiplied with f, will be divided in the RHS. So basically, it will be 3 upon 5, which will give the result as 0.6. So please multiply and divide decimals very carefully. Now, there's another complex linear equation from exercise 2.6. So I've clubbed it. 9x upon 7 minus 6x is equals to 15. Here goes the solution. So, what we'll do in this question is we'll try to cross multiply. Can you see that 7 minus 6x is being divided in the LHS? So, it will be multiplied, right? So, it goes like 9x is equals to 15 will be multiplied with 7 minus 6x. Basically, this is known as cross multiplication. Now if you open the bracket, this will become 105 minus 90x. If you solve this with basic transposition method, you'll find the value of x as 35 upon 33. In question number 4 of exercise 2.6, again, we need to cross multiply, right? But here, be careful that minus 2 is being multiplied with 2 minus 6y. So basically, you have to change the signs. After changing the signs and opening the bracket, the value of y will come out as minus 8. Please try doing them on your own. Now we'll be dealing with miscellaneous word problems. Look at question number 8 of exercise 2.4. Half of a herd of deer are grazing in the field. 3/4 of the remaining. So, if they're talking about remaining, that means half of the herd were grazing, right? So, what is the remaining? Half. So, half of them are playing nearby. But then not half, 3/4 of the remaining, right? So, 3/4 of half. And the rest, 9, are drinking water from the pond. You need to find the total number of deer in the herd. So you can let the total number of deer as x. As per the conditions given, you already have been given that x by 2. That is half of the deer are what? They're grazing in the field. The remaining, as I told you while discussing the question, the remaining will be x upon 2 because half are grazing, so half will be left. And then how many are playing nearby? 3/4 of x by 2, which will be 3x upon 8. Now, the rest of them are how many in number? They are 9 in number. So, how to form the equation? So, basically, if you add all the three categories which are the ones which are grazing, the ones which are playing nearby, and the remaining which are drinking water. So if you add the three categories, you'll again get the whole number of deers, which is x. Now, what you can do is you can take the LCM in the LHS, and then simply by transposition method, you'll solve the equation and the value of x will come out to be 72. Now we have question number 7 of exercise 2.6. Here, the denominator of a rational number is greater than the numerator by 8. So, can you take the numerator as x? So, since the denominator is how much greater? 8 greater, right? So, the denominator will be x plus 8. Now, since you know that numerator and denominator can be written as fractions. So, according to the condition which is given, they are what? They are increasing the numerator by 17. The numerator was x. So it will be increased by 17 and it will become x plus 17. And what about the denominator? What are they doing to the denominator? They are decreasing it by 1. So it will be x plus 8 minus 1. Okay. And what is the number obtained? It is obtained as 3 by 2. So it is equals to 3 upon 2. Now you'll simplify this. This will be x plus 17, but this plus 8 and minus 1 will become plus 7. Now again, what you need to do is you need to cross multiply. But be very careful that whenever you have binomials, what you do, you put brackets. So x plus 17 is a binomial. So what you do, you put a bracket around it. Similarly, x plus 7 also is a binomial. So what I do is I put it in a bracket. Then you open the bracket by distributive property and you'll simplify this equation and the value of x will come out as 13, right? So what was x? The numerator. So the numerator is 13 and the denominator was how much more than the numerator? 8 more than. So it will be 21. So basically the rational number, or you can say the fraction, is 13 upon 21. Now we'll be having assignment questions. So what you need to do is you have rupees 1380 and you need to divide among Ahmed, John, and Babita so that the amount Ahmed receives is 5 times as much as Babita's share and 3 times as much as John's share. For the time being, let's forget about John's share. Okay. So you know that Ahmed receives how many times of Babita's share? 5 times. So we can let Babita's share as X. So since Ahmed has got 5 times of this, Ahmed's share will be 5x. Okay. Now the question says that Ahmed has received 3 times as much as John's share. So what do you think John has received? John will be getting 1/3 of Ahmed, right? It will be just the opposite. So it will be Ahmed's share divided by 3. Ahmed's share, which is 5x. So it will be 5x upon 3. Now, if you add all the 3 shares, that is Babita's share, Ahmed's share, and John's share, so it will be 1380. Again, what you'll do is you'll take the LCM and then you'll simplify this equation. Transposition method will be used and you'll get the value of x as rupees 180. So Babita's share is rupees 180, Ahmed's being 900 and John's share is 300. Now, this is yet another concept which is very important, upstream and downstream. So if you can see, basically, we need to understand this terminology. What is upstream and then what is downstream? So upstream basically is against the flow of water. So basically, if you have a boat and it's going against the flow of the stream, so the stream is running in this direction and the boat is trying to move in the other direction. So this is basically upstream. Okay. And now coming to downstream. So downstream basically has the same direction of the stream. So if the stream is going in this direction, the boat is also moving in a similar direction. So this will be known as downstream. What do you think? The speed in upstream will be greater or the speed in downstream? Obviously, it will be downstream because the stream will help us to move in that direction. But in upstream, it will resist our flow. Yes, it will stop us to move in that direction. So upstream will always have a lesser speed, and downstream, if you're going in downstream, you'll have a greater speed. Okay. So in upstream, remember that we'll subtract the speed of stream. And in downstream, we will add it because it is helping us to move in that direction. In question number 26 of your assignment, a streamer goes downstream. Downstream is the easy one. Okay. You can relate this while you climb stairs and you go upwards. So when you go upstairs, you're obviously taking more time, right? Because you're spending more energy. But then whenever you're going down the stairs, you'll require lesser time because it will be easier for you. So in this question, the streamer is going from one port to another in 9 hours and it covers the same distance upstream in 10 hours. Obviously, because downstream, in downstream, the stream is helping us, right? So it has only taken 9 hours. But in upstream, since the stream was opposing us, it took us 10 hours. The speed of the stream has been given as 3 km per hour. You need to find the speed of streamer in still water and the distance between the ports. So let us begin with this question. You can let the speed of streamer as x. What do you think? In upstream, as I told you, the speed of stream will be subtracted because it is resisting our flow, right? It is stopping us. So if the streamer has a speed of x, it will be reduced by 3. So x minus 3 will be the speed of the streamer in upstream. But you need to find the distance. So you already know that distance is speed into time. Speed, which is x minus 3, and time, which is 10 hours in upstream. So if you multiply by distributive property, you'll get it as 10x minus 30. Now, in case of downstream, you already know now, right? If it was subtracted in upstream, it will be added in downstream. So the speed will be increased because now the stream, the river, is helping us to move forward. So it will be x plus 3. Distance similarly would be speed into time, which will be x plus 3 into 9 because now the time taken is 9 hours. It will be 9x plus 27. Now, you know that the distance are same in both the cases, the upstream and the downstream. So 10x minus 30 will be equal to 9x plus 27. So it's a very simple equation which can be solved easily by collecting the variables on one side and the constants on the other side. So if I collect that, the value of x is 57. So which makes the speed of the streamer as 57 kilometer per hour. What happens to the distance? Distance can be found by any one of these. Why? Because both the distance are same. So it is easier to find it by this because we need to multiply it with 10. So it will be 10x minus 30, the value of x which has been found as 57. So it will be 10 into 57 minus 30. 570 minus 30, which makes it 540 kilometer. Now, in this question, you need to find the value of x in which the perimeter is 77. Now, the perimeter, as you know, is the sum of all the sides. So, since this is a pentagon, you have 5 sides. So, what you'll do is you will find the sum of all the 5 sides and it will be equal as 77. Now, if you simply solve this equation, the value of x is obtained as 10. Now, this is the homework for today's class. You need to do these questions from exercise 2.4 and 2.5. Thank you.